We're looking for a one bedroom because we both work from home and we need separate spaces for our desks and to be able to take meetings. We need a dishwasher because that's my job and I'm not hand washing all those dishes. We also don't want an apartment that faces a back wall because we need a lot of natural light for our dog to sunbathe.
In-unit washer and dryer used to be non-negotiable for me, but after a couple months I started to realize that for our budget it was a little bit unrealistic. So now if it's in the building, I'm okay with it.
We also have a tiny wiener dog, so we need the apartment to be pet friendly, and I noticed a lot of units in New York are not, even though it clearly is a dog city. We're also looking for units at or under $3,500 a month because even though we can push our budget a little bit more, we want to be able to actually enjoy the city instead of constantly worrying about spending everything on rent.
Ideally, we'd prefer there's a gym in the building, but if not, we want it to be within 10 minutes walking distance. We understand that broker fee is pretty common in New York, especially in Manhattan, and we also did tour a couple apartments that have broker fee, but we still try to avoid it if possible. And now we can start the hunting.
This apartment was $2,850 on Roosevelt Island. It was on the 10th floor. It had everything we need in the kitchen, decent bathroom. The shower was a little bit small. It didn't have a bathtub. It was a nice open layout, lots of light because I believe it was south facing, but the view in the bedroom was a little bit depressing because it kind of faced the wall of the other part of the building, a little bit of a river view. Some cool bay windows, but we preferred floor to ceiling windows. But this one did have a lot of natural light, which is really nice. This apartment was also $2,850, also on Roosevelt Island in the same building. It was northeast facing, but it had a nice, almost floor-to-ceiling window with a view of the interior courtyard. Had a decent open layout. Again, the kitchen I think was a little bit smaller, but it had everything we needed. The bedroom in this one was bigger. It had a nice big closet. Again, a lot of light, a nice place to put a desk against the wall. The bathroom here was also a lot bigger, and it had an actual tub, a lot of storage space as well. And they were renovating this one, so it was going to be completely new. This apartment was $3,500 on the Upper West Side. The kitchen was extremely dark. The windows pretty much all faced the back. Very, very depressing view here. I think the bedroom was a little bit brighter, but still pretty small. Very, very old unit. The building itself was also really old. It had a really grumpy doorman. And really just not a great vibe overall in the unit. So one of our least favorites for sure. This one was $3,400 in the same building. It had no dishwasher. It had a very weirdly placed fridge. A little bit more open layout, higher ceilings, a little bit more light, still not a lot of direct light. Slightly better view, but it still faced an alley, so pretty negative for us. This building overall was pretty negative. It had a really unfriendly doorman, one washer and dryer for every 3 floors, and 2 really small, very slow elevators. It was a great location, but overall the building was just too much of a negative for us. This one was in Carnegie Hill on Madison Avenue. It was $29.95. It was a 3-floor walk-up. It was pet-friendly. It had a dishwasher, but it didn't have any laundry. There was a laundromat in the ground floor of the building. Had a really pretty window with a nice terrace, but it was so small, could barely fit a queen bed in the bedroom. So for 2 people who are working remotely from home, it just wouldn't work out for us. This unit was $3,500 in Murray Hill, although the broker said that the fee was negotiable because the owner really wanted to get rid of it. It had an interesting layout, a lot of really great storage, some cool hidden cabinets in the kitchen, but it only had a mini fridge and there was no dishwasher. The bedroom had a ton of built-in storage, but the bed was bolted to the floor, so you couldn't bring in your own bed if you wanted to use that instead. It had a great view. It was in a really nice area in Murray Hill, great access to a lot of transportation and shopping. Kind of a weird long hallway between the kitchen, bedroom, and the living room, but still a lot of great built-in storage in the living room as well. This unit was on the Upper West Side for $3,100. It was a 4th-floor walk-up in a nice, beautiful pre-war building, but it was a little bit run down on the inside of the building. The stairs were leaning and crooked. Didn't seem to be a whole lot of maintenance. We saw some complaints from the residents about how poorly the management communicated. It had some beautiful bay windows, a nice decorative fireplace. It was really pretty. It had a dishwasher. It was pet friendly, some nice built-in storage, and it was in a really, really nice area of the Upper West Side, close to a lot of shopping and grocery stores. A little bit small bedroom, but I think it would be enough space for us. It just, with all the issues with the building and the management that we saw, it just wasn't something that we were interested in. This unit was $3,500. It was in Turtle Bay in a nice area, but the area was really busy. It was about 3 blocks from our offices. But I don't know if we wanted to live that close to work. It had a great view, a really nice open layout, a lot of light. There was laundry in the basement. It was pet friendly. It had all of the amenities we needed, but we just felt that with how busy the area was, it just wasn't worth what we would be spending on this apartment. This unit was $3,000 on the Upper West Side. It was definitely the most bizarre layout we'd seen yet. It was a duplex, but the only window that faced the street was in the bathroom. There were 3 bathrooms, which was pretty cool. I don't know why we would need that many, but it had a pretty tiny kitchen. It did have a dishwasher. It did have in-unit laundry, but the bedroom was really small and it had a really small, dark, depressing view of the alley. Downstairs, it felt like a prison. There's no way that I could have a bed down there and a desk down there and work and be happy. It also had these really tight, narrow stairs that I'm sure our dog would fall down. Also, when we were coming into the building, there were about 3 rats that we saw scurrying around the trees outside, so we know they would find their way in. And also, the entire unit was covered in flies, so definitely not a great impression on this one. These are all the apartments that we toured in New York. We settled on one that had more pros than cons, and we hope that you find your perfect home in New York too.